Good evening, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Get the mic a little closer here. It is Sunday night, day 15. You're here for the Sumo Summary Show to wrap up the entire basho. I actually do a separate wrap-up video where we talk about all the news that's come out following the end of the tournament, who got promoted. Obviously, the big question hanging in the balance is about Yokozuna, who's moving up from Juryo, that kind of thing, and any other news we hear, possible retirement news, things like that. That show will go up in a week on Saturday, February 1st. And then I announced, the prize winners, and I'm going to show them tonight, but I show the prizes, and it gives me a little bit of time to send out emails, things like that. So come back in a week for that, and then probably a week after that, I will do a box break on the new BBM sumo cards. So there'll be a few things showing up in your feed if you're subscribed to the channel. You'll see a few video notifications. The Banzuke for March comes out at the very end of February on the 25th. So maybe alive around that day or that weekend, March the 1st, just to kind of have a look at, well, probably not March the 1st because March the 2nd will be the welcome video. So, yeah, anyway, stuff's still going to be happening, is what I'm saying. Okay, how did you like the final day of sumo? I'm assuming you've watched the matches. There are obviously going to be spoilers, so please go watch before you watch this. I thought it was a great, exciting day of sumo, both in Juryo and in the top division. So let's just jump in. All right, and the Sumo Association wastes no time. Boom, there he is. Oh, right on the front page. They changed that advertising art really fast and start hawking on the caution. There are a lot of trouble on these sites. Oh, poor Jeff. He gets picked on. It's not Jeff's fault. I think it's people buy tickets and then they don't realize, you have to have those paper tickets and this, that, and the other. They go to the venue and then they go, well, I got my tickets on blah, blah, blah. Why can't I come in? And it's like, well, you don't have your paper ticket. Um, so they just want you to buy through the official vendors. But obviously, that's really hard to do, especially, this is all in English. If you go to the Japanese site, they're not going to have any of this up. This is the official Japanese site. Totally different menus, and it looks a lot different. And here's about how you can go get tickets and news. Here's the 100 years of the Kokugikan. There's other big events coming up at the Kokugikan in February. We'll talk about that. Uh, Other things. So, yep, all the goods at Sumo Mall. But we do the Japanese site. So, oh, now I'm going to have to kill that and go over here. All right, let's jump in again. So, all right, matches and topics. Nope, 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 nope. We want to look at absent. I don't think anybody pulled out on the final day. Nope. So that's good. Okay. Jumping into the Juryo matches for day 15. Uh, Anything notable in here? Oh, Shumi added a ninth win. Yeah. Okay, so we get to Juryo 14, Nabatame versus Aonishiki, both men at 11 and 3. One of them will stay in possible contention. One of them will drop out. Aonishiki got the win, but man, go watch this match if you can find it. It's on my Patreon, but if you can find it somewhere else, if you're not going to be a Patreon person, it's a fierce match, and Aonishiki really took some punishment, but he perseveres and he gets the win. He goes to 12 and 3. So if Shishi loses, there'll be a playoff. Nabatame finishes with a very respectable 11 and 4 down at down at Juryo 14, and this guy is a bit of a beast. I didn't watch him a lot during the U show, during the basho, but these last few days I've watched his matches because he's had such a good record, and he is somebody to keep an eye on. So he is down at the very bottom of Juryo right now, and he will jump up probably, I would say, to Juryo 9 or 10 for the next tournament. And if he has another good tournament, Juryo one or two, and then he could be in the top division by the fall. Aonishiki, so 12 and 3, doing good. And then we had this kind of filler match. Shimano Umi, who was in Joey's video, got a third win on the final day to go to 3 and 12. Should be enough to keep him in Juryo, but Daishoho, of course, will be getting demoted. Then Shishi versus Tomokaze. Tomokaze, a longtime veteran, has been in the top division, was at 7 and 7. So he needed the win to get his Kachikoshi, but Shishi got it. And so he won the tournament outright. There was going to be no playoff. If he wins his match, it's all over. He went to 13 and 2 at Juryo 4. And congratulations to him. He is the January Juryo champion. And then Shirokuma, the White Bear, got a ninth win. Surugisho finished 2 and 13. Ooch. But Ryuden versus Tohakudo, I went ahead and put that on the channel. He was the third match that would have mattered if Shishi had lost, but Ryuden didn't get the win to have a chance at the playoff. Tohakudo, needing the win to get his Kachikoshi, did indeed get it. So he went to 8 and 7. Ryuden finishes at 11 and 4, but he was going up to Makuuchi either way. Didn't matter if he had been 11 and 4, 12 and 3. He's going to be promoted back up to the top division. Kotoeho didn't get an 11th win at the very end. Asakoru got a ninth win, and that might help him. And then we'll look at all the the breakdown of all the Juryo guys. Hakuyozan got his Kachikoshi here in the second to last match against Kaio. This was a Darwin match, and Kaio was at Juryo 1, so this loss means he won't be going up to the top division. And then Sadanumi finished with a ninth win at Juryo 1, so he'll definitely be getting promoted back up to the top division. So let's go ahead and look at that really quick. For the Juryo division, so Sadanumi 9 and 6 going up. Kaio no. Shiden no at 5 and 10. Asakoru absolutely at 9 and 6 at J2. So those two guys are a lock. Then I think you got to think Ryuden's a lock at 11 and 4 at J3. So now you need 3 open slots. But then you've got the tournament champion at J4 with a 13 and 2. Okay, he's got to go up. So now you got 4 guys. But Shirokuma J4 at 9 and 6, probably not going to be enough to get him promoted unless they have an open 5th slot. So he'll probably just go up to Juryo 1. And then Aonishiki, even though he's the runner-up at 12 and 3 and at a high rank at J5, might also only go up to J1. It just depends how many empty slots they need to fill in the top division. So it's a little bit of a shame for these two guys. They might get left behind, but they might get promoted. It's just hard to say at the moment. But those are the definite 4: Sadanoumi, Asakoru, Ryuden, and Shishi. And then Shirokuma and Aonishiki maybe. And then people going down, Bushozan will get demoted out of the division. 5 and 10, he's okay. Shimazu Juryo 10 with a 3 and 12. I think he's probably going down. Diamami, yep, 4 and 11 at J11. He's going down. They're going to have a lot of room. Waki Ikari got lucky, got his 9 before he had to pull out of the tournament. He got a good record. He got a great record, and he'll be going down, Daishoho. So, yeah, 4 or 5 guys making room for guys from Makushita, and 4 or 5 guys wanting to go up to the Makuuchi. So a lot of change in Juryo for the March tournament. Okay. In the top division on day 15, Tamawashi could have won a special prize if he had gotten a 10th win. I guess they just wanted to honor his perseverance at age 40. Normally they want an 11th win, but here they would have settled for a 10th win. He would have gotten this Fighting Spirit prize, but he lost to Koto Shoho to go 9 and 6. Still a good record. He'll go up the Bansuke. Koto Shoho 5 and 10 at M13 should be safe. But yeah, no special prize. Nishikigi got his 8th win, needed that on the final day, won, beat Oshoma. Toki Hayate at Maegashira 17, 7 and 8. Sometimes they let him stay, sometimes they get demoted. Tamashoho, though, at 6-9, one rank higher, I think will definitely be going down. And, he got a win on his final day, the rookie. But I don't think it's going to be enough to keep him in the top division. But Takeyumi, don't know what happened to him. 2-13. Hakuoho got a 10th win, double digits, nice, by beating Takayasu, who already has Kachikoshi. So he'll go up the Bansuke quite a bit. Chiyoshoma got a ninth win after such a bad second week. Uh, and that should push him up toward M2, I would think. He beat Shonana Umi. Hirata Umi went to 7-8, beating Onokatsu, denying him his Kachikoshi. Nishiki Fuji went to 9-6 over Shodai. Gonoyama got his eighth win in a Darwin match against Midori Fuji. Atami Fuji finished 5-10. It's a shame that he had those two great wins over Ozeki. If he could just have found a way to win three others, um, but not to be. Chonan Umi finishes even worse, 4-11. Tobizaru got close, 7-8 record with a win on the final day. Meisei finishes 6-9. Then we get into the matches that are on the channel. So first we had Kirishima versus Takeda Fuji, both men 10-4. And both of them were promised a special prize, the Kanto Show, the Fighting Spirit prize, if they won their match. So Kirishima won to go to 11-4, and he got the special prize. Takeda Fuji, no special prize, and he finishes at 10-5. So Kirishima's pretty much locked a promotion up to Komusubi. Oho is probably the other guy because a 12-3, a couple ranks down at M3, runner up to the tournament. Well, tied really, not even runner up. I mean, tied for first place, and then loses in the playoff. But so he will probably go to Komusubi, and I think Kirishima and Oho will be our Komusubi. We'll get to why in a moment. Kim Bozan, of course, could have won this match, won the whole thing outright, but he lost to Oho. And so we knew right away at this point there was going to be a playoff, right? At least between Oho and Kim Bozan. Maybe it would involve Hoshoru. He had to win his match. Then we have this kind of a amuse-bouche, nobody cares. Kageyaki versus Takanosho. Wakataka Kage fought Ichi Yamamoto in a Darwin match here. Wakataka Kage, the Komusubi, needing the win to get his Kachikoshi and stay at Komusubi, or maybe even be promoted to Sekewake. Ichi Yamamoto got the win though, so he will be demoted out of Komusubi along with his brother Wakamoto Haru, who's going to be demoted out of Sekewake all the way down. Abi, same thing, 7-7 going into the match against Daisho, couldn't get the win. So it wasn't a. I thought it was going to be like, well, what happens when they both win and who's going to get promoted to Sekewake? Well, they both lost. So now we have two open Komusubi slots, but what's more than that is we have this open Sekewake slot. So I think Kirishima is actually going to go up to Sekewake, and Oho and somebody else, we'll talk about it, will be the Komusubi. Now, there's a tiny chance that because both Komusubi are getting demoted, they'll put Wakamoto Haru down just at Komusubi, but I think that's a very, very small chance. I think historically a 6-9 at Sekewake gets you demoted out to Maegashira 1 or 2. Endo lost to Wakamoto Haru on the final day, though, that both men finished 6-9. Daisho finishes with 11 wins. So you can't really add the 8 he got in November. It would only make 19. He would need a 14-1 or a 15-0 in March for these two to add up to help him get to 33. I don't think he's going to get a 14-1 at Sekewake in March. But you never say never. But the more important thing is if he has another good March tournament with 10 or 11 wins, then he'd be at say 21 or 22 wins going into May, and then he just has to have a good May, and he can become an Ozeki. So we'll keep an eye on Daisho uh, for the first part of this year. Okay, so we had the Koriyori Sanyaku. These two guys took part. And then a fun match between Ura and Onosato. Well, it would have been fun, but Ura did nothing. He went into his little frog pose, and Onosato, it's kind of funny. He just totally knew what to do. He grabbed him literally by the face and just pushed him backwards, and Ura fell over, and it was over in about 3 seconds. So I think it was really disappointing for the fans who were hoping it was going to be quite a match, and it just wasn't. So he didn't get his Kachikoshi. He finishes 7-8. Onosato, finishes at 10 wins. Nobody's really that excited about that. He needs to do better, and so we'll see if he can improve in March. And then we came down to the final match of the day, which wasn't really that suspenseful. I think everybody thought that Hoshoru would win. Kotozakura actually put up a pretty good fight, um, more spirited than he has been in the past couple days. But Hoshoru got the win, and he went to 12-3. So that meant we're going to have a playoff, and we haven't had a playoff in a three-way playoff for a few years, and it is actually quite an unusual event. I thought I've probably seen three or four of them. No, I've only ever seen it once, and that was a few years ago. Abi fought Takayasu and Takakeisho in a three-way playoff. I think it was in 2022. So Abi won. Before that, you have to go all the way back to the 90s, like the mid 90s, 93, 94, Akebono times. So I started watching sumo when I moved to Japan in 2004, really became a fan in 2005. And since then, I've only seen a three-way playoff once. I've seen a four-way playoff, but it was in Juryo. So what do? Well, they pick, they have three pieces of paper. It's like a lottery. And two guys, there's a circle on one of them. If you get the circle, you sit down. The other two guys fight. So they fought. Hoshoru won. It was Kimbozan, sorry. It was Kimbozan Hoshoru. They fought. You have to win twice in a row. So Hoshoru stays on the dohyo, and then Oho gets up, and they fight. Now, if Oho had won, then Kimbozan would come up, and it would go on, and there's would have been various iterations until somebody wins two in a row. But Hoshoru won both, and that's pretty amazing considering he just fought Kotozakura about 10 minutes before all that in the final match of the day. So he won three pretty tough matches in a row in the span of about 20 minutes to clinch this championship with a 12-3 record. Okay. Uh, so exciting. So here is the playoff. Hoshoru beat Kimbozan. Then Oho stepped up, and Kimbozan didn't give Hoshoru much trouble, but this Oho Hoshoru match was really good. It was really a good way to end the tournament. It was exciting. Oho gave it his all, but Hoshoru was just very determined, and he visibly got emotional when he won because what it potentially means to him kind of washed over his face, and he almost started to cry. And then he kind of composed himself, and he walked back to the shitakubeya, and he was kind of using his towel to wipe some tears off. And then they had to hang out and they get their hair redone. But see, you got to remember that Oho and Kimbozan have been chilling in the dressing room for about a half an hour before the playoff happened. So they're back there just kind of wearing their light kimono and trying to stay warm and warmed up. And Oho's doing some extra. They're all three in the same dressing room for some reason. I don't know why. And then they all came out and they picked the papers, and then they had the fights. So congrats to Hoshoru. It was a fantastic. I mean, when you look at what he did, he had this bad loss, double loss here, Shodai and then Hirata Umi on days 8 and 9. But then since day 10, high level opponents. He beat Daisho Sekewake, beat Chiyoshomu, who's having a good tournament. Then he takes on the leader, Kimbozan, beats him. Takes on an Ozeki, beats him. Takes on Takeda Fuji, who's got a good record, beats him. And then the other Ozeki. He had already fought Oho on day 7 and beat him. So both guys in the playoff he'd beaten in regulation. And he wins 6 in a row, plus, three matches on the final day. That, I think, is going to factor in to whether or not he gets promoted to Yokozuna or not. I know a lot of you have said, nope, he needed a 13-2. But, and I think if Terunofuji were still active or we had any active Yokozuna, I would agree with you. But because there's no Terunofuji, I think he is going to get the promotion. Um, they're going to say he won a Yusho. He was runner up before. He, and give it to him. But I'm about 65-35. I think 65% they'll give it to him. 35% chance they say nope. He's got to come back and have a really good March. And so we shall see. We shall see. Um, that news will come out probably Tuesday or Wednesday. The Yokozuna Deliberation Council will make its decision and then make that decision public. Okay, so if we go to tournament records, let's look at who finished how. So he's going to be Kadoban. Kotozakura will be Kadoban. Hoshori the champion. Onosato just kind of tagging along. Daisho stays at Sekewake, of course. Wakamoto Haru gets demoted, as do Abi and Wakataka Kage. So we have three open slots. Okay. So yeah, the obvious one would be Kirishima at the top of the Maegashira with an 11-4, and the Fighting Spirit Prize jumps up to Sekewake. Then these guys both lost. He lost, not lost, but had losing records. So then we get Oho at 12-3. So he jumps up to Komusubi. And you could say, well, maybe Gonoyama would be the other guy. And I think they'll probably go with an 8-7 at M3 over a 9-6, which is only one better at M5. So I think Chiyoshoma's going to have to settle probably for M1. And Gonoyama and Oho will be your Komusubi in March. That's my guess. Because we go down, yeah, just 8-7, 8-7, and yeah, everybody else is too far down to be a factor. So Takeda Fuji, good finish with 10, and Kimbozan, of course, will go way up, but not a huge amount. Uh, but maybe, I mean, definitely single digit Maegashira, but above Maegashira 5, I don't know. Hakuoho will go up with his 10 wins, and Tokihate going down. Nishiki Fuji will go up. Tamashoho probably, see, 6-9 at M16. He might just go down to M17. Same with Kageyaki. They're both right here on the bubble. Kitsunowaka will get demoted all the way down to Juryo. So will Hokuto Fuji. And then, yeah, I think everybody else is probably safe. Some of these guys have really bad records up here. Rogo with his 0-3-12, but he's at M8. Shiranumi 4-11 and M9, 5-10. I think they're all safe to stay in the top division. 2-13 here at M7. So that's my guess, but that's for Banzuke Day. We'll have to see. And then, of course, Terunofuji is gone now, so we have no Yokozuna unless Hoshoru gets promoted. Okay, so if we look at the champions, Hoshoru, yay. Makuuchi, Juryo, Shishi, yay. And then the other guys who we knew, special prize winners ended up being, so the Outstanding Performance Award were both, they were going to go to either Kimbozan or Oho if they won the U show, but neither of them did, so neither of them got the award. Kirishima gets a Kanto show, but Kimbozan also, of course, for his superior record, got a Kanto show, and they had to give something to Oho, so they gave him the Technique Prize, the Gino show, and they both finished at 12-3. So I told you, I mentioned that they like 11 or more wins most of the time to get a special prize, and that bore out this tournament. So three in total were handed out. Okay. Anything else we need to mention? Champions interview, that'll come up later. I don't even think they upload it that fast. All right. So if you're interested in tickets, do go over and see Jeff's site. It says here they're accepting pre-orders for the May tournament. Tickets go on sale April 5th. I'm pretty sure it's very difficult to even get in the pre-order for March anymore. Those tickets go on sale in about 2 weeks on February 8th. But just be aware there are some other special events happening in Tokyo in some upcoming months. February has like a Fuji TV tournament. There's a retirement ceremony for um, oh I can't remember his name. The guy who won the Cinderella tournament about 5 years ago. Oh my God, it's left my brain. Sorry, guys, but you know who I'm talking about, or you can look it up. You know what? Oh, you know what? Here, I'll look it up. I think they mentioned it on Tachiai. Yeah, no, no, not Tohakaru. Tomokaze. Oh no, Makuuchi. Maybe. No. Okay. I thought I read it somewhere. Never mind. But anyway, there's stuff coming up. So if you're interested, and of course, the winner of the contest will get to pick one of these awesome Tegata from Jeff's shop. They've got a Kimbozan. Look at that. They got Kirishima. They got Koto Zakura, Onosato, Hakuho. And Haku Oho. They have both. So you'll notice that if you're an Ozeki or higher, you get these special stamps. He's got two bundled together and things like that. So speaking of the standings, Rick, no surprise there, held on to his lead by buffer and finished. He was in the live chat last night, so he's very aware of the fact that he's doing well. And I'm going to email him later this week and tell him to claim the Tegata prize if that's what he wants, or we can negotiate something else. But he finishes two ahead of everybody else with 66 points. Just a fantastic team. I think the top point getter in each category. So very dominant. And then we had six people tie for second. So they are Nikikeisho, Music Tourist, Lil Weld, Brother Bede, Brutus, and Kay. So all of them will be contacted. They will get prizes from me. And then we have just one person in third place and fourth place, which is pretty amazing. Um, Yamaha Ron and Charles Edward Cheese. So very close, guys, very close. If you're Yamaha Ron or Charles Edward Cheese, email me, say nice things, and I'll probably send you a prize. But normally I just send to first and second place. But you guys are so close, and there's only one of each of you. If you want to email me, I'll put it on you. You have to email me, and then I will send you something. And then like Inspiration Lady was doing great, but then she dropped back to fifth. I think a lot of people were hurt today by Wakataka Kage not winning, and Takeda Fuji didn't win, etc. So I know I dropped a little bit. I think I was in like only about 30 something of you were ahead of me, and now I'm here in eighth, so about 46 of you are ahead of me. But I did pretty good. I'm pretty happy with my team. Um, I don't know that I would have necessarily picked that many people different than I picked, as it were. But yep, good contest. So I hope you had fun, and we'll try it all again in March. Let's see what else. The channel's doing fine. The Sumo Summary Show. I don't know if that shows up on my channel. I gotta stop this. Okay. Yeah, it does. Okay, it's on the it's in the playlist and then the videos. So, okay. I don't know why it went from day 10 to day 14 here. That's kind of weird. But anyway, yep. And I will be doing an unboxing. So the live stream sometimes goes in a different place. It kind of goes in this live. I did it live on day 7, live on day 14, and yeah, but it should all be listed as videos. Oh, here's day 12 and day 13. Yeah, that's weird that they didn't get listed the same. Okay. Dun, dun, dun. All right, guys. I think that'll do it. So congrats again to Hoshoru, and we'll just have to wait. Just have to wait and see what they decide to do with him. Maybe I'll run another poll now that the Basho's over. You saw what he did on day 15. Do you think I need to wait though a few days for spoilers, but maybe midweek I'll run a poll. So if you see that, maybe just give me a vote. Um, do you think now, after his performance at the end of the week and into today, day 15, 3 wins in a row, back to back to back, does he deserve promotion to Yokozuna? I know some of you are still adamant against it, but maybe that swayed some of you. So it'll just be a yes or no. So it'll be 50, either or. So it might be polarizing. We'll see what you guys are thinking of as stalwart foreign fans of sumo wrestling. Um, what else? I feel like there was something else I was supposed to tell you. I can't think of it. But yeah, I had a good time today watching. Juryo was fun. Oh, I know what I was going to say. That I had tweeted out that somebody famous might come to the basho today, and we were hoping it would maybe be the emperor, the Reiwa emperor, the current emperor. Has not been to sumo yet, and most of that's because it was, he took over right around COVID, and they often, though, when the emperor does visit sumo, he comes in January. He goes because it's in Tokyo. It's the start of the new year, and they have a royal box at the Kokugikan for him, and his wife, used to come with him, and I don't believe anyone else is allowed to sit in it. It's only for the royal family. But it wasn't him. It ended up being the current prime minister, Ishiba, of Japan, came, but he didn't come and watch any sumo. I thought was kind of cheesy. He just came at the very end to give away the first big cup they give is the Emperor's Cup, and that is the symbolic cup of sumo, winning sumo. But it's not as big and as impressive as the second cup, which everybody thinks is the Emperor's Cup because it's so large. But that one is called the Prime Minister's Cup. And somebody from the government always comes and gives it away. It can be a foreign minister or a cabinet member or somebody. And in this case, it was the actual prime minister. And that's happened in the past. Shinzo Abe came and things like that. Uh, so he came, all the Secret Service, running around, and then he went up on the dohyo. He read the thing. Nobody really hooted or hollered at him. I don't think he's that popular, but he didn't seem to be that into it. And he handed Hoshoru the certificate and then tried to pick up the cup. They always try to pick up the cup. It weighs like 40 kilos, which is like 90 pounds, which is pretty heavy, right? And he's not a spring chicken. So the Yobidashi tries to help him and he hands it over and then he just left. So it was a lot of security. I'm sure if you went to the Kokugikan today on day 15, you had to get your bag checked and things like that. And they don't normally have any security. You just show your ticket and you go in um, just for that moment. But yeah, there wasn't much fanfare about it, to be honest. So that's a little disappointing. We were hoping it would be the Emperor, and he would, because he usually comes around halftime and stays for about an hour and watches through to the final match, and then before he doesn't always come on Senshiraku, does he? No, I think he sometimes comes in the middle. Anyway, he stays to the final match, and then they do the bow twirling and nobody moves because, ultimate respect, right? Nobody leaves. And then he gets up, waves to everybody. I have some footage, on my old channel of the previous emperor, Akihito, when he came. The uh, not oh the Heisei emperor. That's the Japanese term for him. When he came a few times. Anyway, uh, and then he waves and they would walk out and then you're allowed to like leave and everything. So hopefully the Reiwa Emperor will come sometime. It'd be nice to see him and support sumo. I think he'll really, maybe when it's more certain that maybe a Japanese born Rikishi might win. There was only a 1 in 3 chance that Oho was going to win today. uh, but he put up a good fight and he beat Kim Bozan to force the playoff. So Hoshoro owes him some, a debt of gratitude. Thank you for giving him a loss and allowing me to take part in the playoff where I beat you for the championship. But he does need to send over a fish or a pound of Kobe beef or something to say thank you for that. All right, guys, that'll do it for me. But yeah, come back definitely in a week. I'll have the wrap up video. And then, like I said, sometime in February, we'll do an unboxing and some other fun stuff on the channel. Thank you for watching. All the thumbs up, comments going by the live stream, watching here, watching over on Patreon. And I'll see you in about a week. Okay, take care. Peace.